One night, while working my shift at a small diner, a quiet old man sat at my table. He barely spoke. He ordered the cheapest meal on the menu. When he left, he placed a $20 bill on the table. I thought it was just a generous tip, but when I picked it up, there was a note written on it that completely changed my life. A few years ago, I was working the night shift at a small diner in Ohio. The place wasn't fancy. Old red booths, coffee that never stopped brewing, truck drivers and late-night workers coming in and out. Night shifts were usually quiet. Around a.m., the door opened and an older man walked in. He wore a worn-out jacket and looked exhausted. He sat alone in the corner booth. When I walked over, he smiled politely. "I'll just have coffee and the grilled cheese," he said. It was the cheapest thing on the menu. While he waited for his food, he kept looking around the diner like he was remembering something. Not in a strange way, more like someone revisiting a place from their past. When I brought the food, he thanked me kindly. We barely talked after that. He ate slowly, finished his coffee, and stood up to leave. Before walking out, he placed a $20 bill on the table. I smiled. For a cheap meal like that, it was a great tip. But when I picked up the bill, I noticed writing on it. 3 small words: "Don't give up." At first, I laughed. It felt random, but the truth was, those words hit me harder than they should have. Because at that time in my life, I was struggling. I was working 2 jobs, trying to save money for college. Most nights, I wondered if all the effort was even worth it. I folded the bill and kept it in my wallet. For months, I carried it everywhere. Whenever I felt like quitting, I looked at those words again. Don't give up. Years passed. I eventually finished college, got a better job, moved to a new city. One day, while cleaning out an old wallet, I found that same $20 bill again. The ink was faded, but the message was still there. That moment made me curious. So I did something random. I drove back to the same diner. The place looked almost the same red booths, same coffee smell. I asked one of the older waitresses if she remembered an older man who used to visit late at night. She looked at me for a moment. Then she smiled. "Gray jacket?" she asked. I nodded. She sighed softly. "He used to own this diner," she said. Apparently the man had lost the business years earlier after financial problems. But he still came back sometimes, just to sit there and remember. Then she told me something that gave me chills. "He always left that same message on his tips," she said. "Don't give up." Because those were the words someone once told him when he was starting the diner from nothing. Sometimes the smallest messages come from strangers, and somehow, they arrive exactly when we need them the most.